Hi there, Anna Collins from Anna Collins Nutrition in Ireland, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about saturated fats and cholesterol. So we all know that foods like butter and cream and fatty meat contain saturated fat and cholesterol. And saturated fat has long been maligned as a cause of heart disease. But did you know it is not saturated fat that causes heart disease? It's actually the damage and inflammation going on in our arteries that causes the cholesterol from the saturated fat to become damaged and then contribute to the buildup of plaque in the arteries. Saturated fat itself does not cause heart disease in 96% of the population. If you're one of the 4% of the population who have an abnormal genetic makeup to the ApoE gene, then eating more than 30 grams of saturated fat a day is problematic for you, and you should limit it to 30 grams or less. And you can go on to Ancestry.com or 23andMe to do a really simple genetic saliva test and find out, are you one of the 4% that needs to limit saturated fat quite a lot? Bear in mind that if you eat masses and masses of butter and cream and fatty meat, that can raise inflammation levels in your body. So if you have any inflammatory health condition such as arthritis or psoriasis or eczema, eating very high levels of saturated fat could make it worse. We do need some saturated fat in our cell membranes for every cell in our body to work correctly. But we do not need masses of saturated fat. So if you had a bit of butter a few times a week, or you had chicken a couple of times a week, you would be getting enough saturated fat. But more than that is not necessarily a problem. So that's my take on saturated fat. There are hundreds of thousands of research papers now on saturated fat, and many of the research papers from the last 20 years show that saturated fat itself is not the big driver of heart disease. Diets high in carbohydrates, low in phytonutrients, and high in inflammatory components are the big driver of heart disease, as is vitamin K2 deficiency, which is rampant in our population. Hope this helps. Don't be afraid of saturated fat unless you're one of the 4%, and you can check that out by doing a genetic test. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.